Hello Play the Game, this is Rowan here with my series where I look at things in Borderlands that just make you wonder what in the world were Gearbox thinking when they put these things in the game. Episode 2, Guns. With over 40 billion weapons in Borderlands 2, there's bound to be some stinkers in the mix. In fact, there's so many I could spend hours bitching about them. Like for example, Hyperion snipers that offer you everything you don't want from a sniper rifle and lack everything you do want. Or Jacob's barreled Hyperion shotguns for just being so damn ugly. In fact, there's so many, to make a proper top 5 list, I'm just going to limit myself to unique weaponry. Number 5, the Unforgiven. Now, don't get me wrong, the Unforgiven in theory is not a bad weapon. I can see what Gearbox were thinking of when they made this weapon. The prospect of a slow firing hand cannon that rewards precision is appealing, but the implementation of it was just so shit. Firstly, it's a pearlescent weapon, which means that you can only find it in UVH Hem, where enemies have a 4 times health multiplier and constant health regen, so the damage that they gave it just isn't enough for the enemies that you're using this weapon against. Secondly, there's already a hand cannon in Borderlands 2, it's called the Rex. Oh, sure, it doesn't have the critical hit multiplier of the Unforgiven, but it deals so much more damage that it doesn't really matter, and the minuscule difference between the two, when one is easily obtainable and the other is meant to be the rarest of the rare weapons, is just unacceptable. Also, the fact that the original Unforgiven from Borderlands 1 was considered by many to be one of the holy grail weapons of that game, so when it was reincarnated as this unnecessary and weak tribute, it made it that much harder to accept. And that is why the Unforgiven is on this list, because it makes you wonder how Gearbox could screw up an implementation like this so badly. Number 4, Sledge's Shotgun. So first of all, on the marks against the Sledge's Shotgun, it's a bandit shotgun, and all of them, with the one exception of the Jolly Roger, are just terrible. Torg and Jacob shotguns beat them in damage, Hyperion shotguns beat them in fire rate, and TDR actually beat bandit shotguns in both these aspects, but back to the Sledge's Shotgun. The gimmick that sets it aside from all the other terrible bandit shotguns? It's nothing. It's not even a gimmick. Basically, it fires 2 shots per trigger pull, making it the only burst fire shotgun in the game. Not a DAL though. This means it can't be redeemed by someone like Krieg or Salvador because it's semi-automatic technically, so their rate of fire buffs don't work on it like they do other bandit shotguns. And something like Zero's 2 find that works so well on other semi-automatic weaponry doesn't affect the Sledge's Shotgun either because it's already firing in 2 bursts. It doesn't fit in with anything, it deals absolutely pathetic damage, and it's nigh on impossible to redeem it. The fact that it's considered a legendary when the far superior Borderlands 1 incarnation was just a unique, it just blows your mind. Maybe if it had a bandit barrel on it, it might have some redeeming features, because at least then it would deal larger amounts of damage per burst. It has the inferior Jacob's one. Now, maybe Gearbox were trying to pay homage to the fact that the original Sledge's Shotgun is a Jacob's weapon, but they turned it into a bandit for some reason. But to try and pay tribute to the original by fixing a terrible part on it just blows your mind on how they could screw up this implementation so badly. So because of this, the Sledge's Shotgun, as another terrible tribute weapon, goes in at the number 4 spot. Number 3, the Retcher. Now this spot was originally intended for all non-SMG and launcher E-Techs because they are all absolute garbage. But I narrowed it down to the Retcher because this wonderful piece of shit embodies everything that is just terrible about E-Tech. First on the list, the Retcher's extreme arc makes it unusable at anything other than short range, which might be acceptable when you think of it as a shotgun, but when you also think of the fact that it's a weapon that deals self-harm through splash damage, restricting it to only close quarters seems like a bit of a contradictory message. Next up, its element is restricted to corrosive only, meaning you can only use it on armoured targets, which further narrows its already minuscule niche use, because I don't see many people taking on ultimate badass loaders at point blank range, or just regular badass loaders, or ward loaders, or ion loaders, you get the picture. Loaders, who take up 95% of the armoured target you will fight, need to be taken on at a range and to take advantage of their massive crit spots. Which brings me on to another brilliant point, because E-Tech weapons deal reduced critical damage, which is just brilliant. Now, the Retcher is by no means the worst E-Tech weapon, far from it, but it's not just an E-Tech weapon, it's Seraph. And another E-Tech weapon by the name of the Slowhand outperforms it in every single fucking way. And that's what warrants its place on the list, because it is just garbage. Number 2. Assault Rifles. Yes, I said I wasn't going to do generalizations, but this isn't just one manufacturer's subclass, this is a sixth of all weapons in Borderlands 2, and they're all shit. Damage wise, assault rifles will lose to their submachine gun and pistol counterparts. Fire rate, again they lose out to submachine guns and pistols. Mag size, worse. Reload speed, worse. Handling, accuracy, recoil, worse. Critical hit damage, glitched from day one to be worse than it should be, admitted by Gearbox, and they can't be arsed to do a damn about it. Simply put, there is no reason to use a normal assault rifle over a normal submachine gun or pistol. Not one reason. But wait, there are so many unique assault rifles, maybe they can be redeemed if there's a lot of zany and useful versions amongst them. Let's have a look at the list of unique assault rifles, shall we? The Boom Puppy. Because we all love rubberized grenades so much, let's make it a gun. The Chopper, the gun that you can fire once and then never again because you've burned through all of your ammunition. The Evil Smasher. The Evil Smasher. The gun that is so shit that it is shit at being shit. No joke, okay? The Evil Smasher was designed by Gearbox to be the worst weapon in the game. And it was the best for some reason. How did they screw that up? The Evil Smasher was more powerful than the North Elite. It could destroy anything in the game in a millisecond. But then they nerfed it in the most depressing and lazy way possible. And it's back to being the worst weapon in the game ever. The Hail, which is almost comparable to a normal submachine gun if you master its unique and stupid firing pattern. Then there's the Kitten, which is decent, okay, we'll give assault rifles that one, they've got one decent weapon so far. The Rapier, that's not an assault rifle, that's a knife with a shit gun at the end of it. The Scorpio, the worst way to pay homage to Rowan ever. The Damned Cowboy, that can do about the same amount of damage as a pistol but has terrible fire rate. The Stinkpot, the only way worse than the Retcher to deal corrosive damage. The Stomper, again like the Scorpio, it's just absolutely garbage. The Lead Storm, that's actually a decent weapon if you can master its firing pattern, okay. The Seeker, it looks nice but other than that it's complete crap. The Seraphim, yep, no, that's shit too. The Hammerbuster, god I love this weapon but I can't deny it's beaten by even a regular Jacob's Gatling gun. The Curb Blaster, terrible. The Madhouse, just no. The Ogre, again, okay, that's a decent assault rifle, but when you have to go through the badass round of magic slaughter approximately 30 times to get one, nope, that's not worth it. Shredder Fire, impossible to find and not that special. The Varuk, well that's actually the Retcher of the assault rifle class because it's just an E-Tech weapon that consumes slightly less ammo. Because assault rifle ammo is so hard to come by. The Bearcat, let's just move on from the Bearcat. The Becca, okay, that's actually a decent weapon because they give it ridiculous crit damage to compensate. Okay, that's 3. And the Sawbar, which is just another ridiculous way of dealing fire damage. Okay, so of all the assault rifles, there are 3 that are just kind of okay, but those are the 3 best weapons, but they can still probably be beaten by most other correspondents in the other classes. You get the point. I can't narrow down the problem of assault rifles like I did the Retcher to E-Techs, because the problem of assault rifles is just too big to narrow down. A sixth of the guns in Borderlands 2 are fundamentally shit. If that doesn't make you go, what the fuck, Gearbox? I actually know something that will, because at the number 1 spot, we have the Cobra. Now, we all know where this is going. The Cobra is not a bad weapon, far from it. It's treated as the only explosive sniper rifle in the game, and it actually gives it a very special position. The reason it made it to the number 1 spot? It's because of its motherfucking drop rate. Let's count it down. First, you need an enemy with the name Burner in its name. This immediately relegates 90% of the enemies in Torg's DLC. Also, enemies in the Horde of Horrors or Pyro Pete's Bar don't count because that would just make it too easy, wouldn't it? Second, the Burner when killed needs to drop a sniper rifle, not a grenade or a class mod or a shield or a relic or a skin or a head or an assault rifle or a submachine gun or a pistol or a shotgun or a launcher. It has to drop a sniper rifle, so that's already, what, a 1 in 13 chance? Third, that sniper rifle in question must have a purple rarity, and just in case you don't go mobbing all that often, the odds of a non-badass enemy, which by the way all burners are, the odds of them dropping a purple weapon are so small you might see it once in about 10 hours of solid gameplay. So imagine the odds of a regular enemy dropping a purple sniper rifle. Non-existent. Now, if a burner is going to drop a purple sniper rifle, there is a 0.88% chance of that sniper rifle being a Cobra. 0.88% chance. That's less than 1 in 100. And when you add all of that up, this is Gearbox's way of going fuck you to everyone who plays this game. Because why, Gearbox? Why? Why do you hate us so much? This gun is so fucking rare, Gearbox had to make a PSA because at the start of the DLC, no one could find the fucking thing. Look at this trailer for Torg's DLC. This is false advertising. No one is ever going to see this thing in the game. No one is ever going to be able to use it. And the fact that this was advertised as content that you would get if you bought this DLC with your own money, that isn't just insulting to the player, that's wrong. And Gearbox, they still haven't learnt this. They're still doing it. They're still making drop rates so shit that you can't get the content they're advertising to you. Yes, assault rifles are broken. Yes, they're useless. But what's worse? Weapons that you don't have a reason to use but are available to you, or weapons that are usable that you pay for but you will never see. The point of Borderlands is the loot, so there is no excuse that there is loot that you will never get, no matter how hard you try. And that is why the Cobra makes it to the number 1 fucking spot on this list, because it is just everything that is wrong with Borderlands drop rates. So that has been the list of the top 5 what the fuck were they thinking when it comes to guns in Borderlands 2, and for the first time I'm going to be doing some special mentions. Firstly, the Bane. You were probably expecting it on this list and might be already writing hateful comments because it appeared in the thumbnail and that's misleading. But the Bane, while it is just awful, it doesn't make you go what the fuck were Gearbox thinking. They clearly knew what they were doing when they made the Bane, okay? It was designed as a horrible weapon that no one would use, that's the joke of it. And actually, if you read what they said about the Bane, it was originally a lot worse than what it was, okay? You couldn't unequip it. It would sap XP from your character, okay? We actually got lucky on what we had. And stat-wise, the Bane itself isn't actually a bad gun. It's just if they turned Claptrap into a weapon, which is just horrifying when you think about it, but you can see what they were thinking about. The second one is actually the closest to getting into the top 5, and that is the Yellowjacket, because to this day I have no idea what the Yellowjacket is meant to be. It's not even yellow. However, it's still a Hyperion plasma caster, so it is still a weapon that you could use in the game. At the point you get it, I don't know why you would use it, but it is a weapon, it is kind of usable, so that puts it above the rest of the other shit that was in the top 5. So that rounds up another episode of What the Fuck Were Gearbox Thinking for weapons. Please leave your own personal top 5s in the list because, as I said, there's over 40 billion weapons, so people are always going to come to different conclusions about what the worst 5 are. And also leave your ideas for the next top 5 What the Fuck Were They Thinking in Borderlands 2. I'll just reveal it to you now. Next episode will be top 5 skills. So this has been Rowan. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, feel free to leave a like and subscribe to Play the Game Central for more Borderlands coverage. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye!